Today we are going to start with lesson 3 on page 22. We are going to talk about the structures, gerunds as subjects, and superlative with present perfect. So here our objectives, our goals will be about the first one, using gerunds as subjects, using gerund phrases as also subjects, using superlative with the present perfect. These are our goals for our lesson today. Just we want to remind you with the gerund. What do we mean by gerund? When we say gerund, what does it mean, gerund? Gerund means the verb with ing form, which represents as a noun. Play, playing. Watch, watching. This is about the gerund. Gerund phrase means a gerund with other words. In other words, a verb with ing form with other words. Look at the example, playing football. Here we have a gerund and another word. Playing football is useful. Sitting at home. So you realize here, this is what do we call by gerund phrase, a gerund with other words. So this is about the gerund. I think you studied it before. Who can read? Who can read the explanation here?
Can I read, teacher?
Jamil.
Okay. Grammar. Gerunds as subject. A gerund or a gerund phrase can be the subject of a sentence. Can I read the example station?
Read the example.
Okay.
Read.
Swimming uses more muscles of the body than almost any other form of exercise. Watching sports isn't nearly as fun as playing them.
Good. So a gerund or a gerund phrase can be used what? As the subject, or as a subject of a sentence at the beginning, as a noun. Now here we have swimming. Comes from swim with ing, so consists of a gerund, swimming. So this is a gerund. A gerund phrase, the gerund with what? Another word or words. Watching sports isn't nearly as fun as playing. You realize that these now, nouns. Okay. Look at, the first example here. Who can read it? Paddy.
Okay, it's a foolish to ride a motorcycle without a helmet.
Good. It's, foolish to ride a motorcycle without a helmet. Now we can start with what? With a gerund. Where is the infinitive here? To ride. How can we, start with a gerund? Who can try, saying the sentence in a different, way with the same meaning, starting with a gerund?
Can I try?
Yes.
To
Riding.
Riding a motorcycle without a helmet is foolish.
Good. Riding a motorcycle without a helmet is foolish. So, riding a motorcycle without a helmet is foolish. You realize that here it is what we deleted. We start with the gerund as a noun, as a subject. Riding a motorbike without a helmet is foolish. Good. It is fun to play football. Who can, start with Abdullah Musharraf, are you here?
Teacher, right.
Yalla.
Me?
Yes.
Okay. Playing football is fun.
Good. It is fun to play football. So it will be playing football is fun. Good. So this is about, the gerund as a subject. Now, here we have gerund as subjects. Make a gerund or, gerund phrase negative by putting not before it. Now, if you want to make negative, How can we make negative the sentence? By putting not at the beginning of the sentence, before the gerund. Is it clear? Who can read the examples? Not exercising. Yes, Fadi.
Not exercising is a sure way to gain weight.
Not exercising is a sure way to gain weight. Good. Read the second. Not warming up.
Not warming up before you exercise can lead you to injuries.
Good. Very good. Now, if you want to make negative for the previous examples, not swimming uses more muscles of the body. Not watching sports is nearly as fun as playing, them. Good. So if you want to make negative, just we put not at the beginning of the gerund. So this is about, the second point. Here we have a note. You realize that here we deal with the gerund or, gerund phrase as a singular. Is, uses. It takes what? A singular form. Gerund subject takes a singular verb. Getting in shape takes, not take. Isn't, not, aren't. Okay? Isn't, not, aren't. Not exercising is. So you realize that, the gerund subject always, has, a singular form. Look at the example. Playing sports are, a good way to keep you in shape. This is wrong. It must be what is, because, it takes what? A singular verb. Playing sports is a good way to keep you in shape. Okay, if you return back to your book on page 2021, here we have a lot of examples about, the gerund. Just want to remind you with the examples of gerunds as subjects. Look here. In the first or the second paragraph, we have what? Giving medals. What about the second? Lighting the torch. Running through the mountains. Dropping sports. Adding a new event. Okay. Who can, order the, unscramble the sentences? Number one. Takes a lot of courage. Car racing.
Can I answer?
Yes, Fadi.
Car racing takes a lot of courage.
Good. Car racing is takes a lot of courage. Good. Number two, who can try?
Can I answer?
Yes, Jamil.
Okay. After eating, swimming is not a good idea.
Or swimming after eating.
Okay. Swimming after eating is not a good idea.
It's not a good idea. Good.
Can I answer, teacher?
Yes.
Skateboarding is fun, but it's difficult but fun.
Good. Skateboarding is difficult but fun. Thank you. Now let's move to the second part of the structure in our lesson today, which is the superlative plus the present perfect. We usually one of the uses of the present perfect is using with the superlative form of adjectives. Look, here just to remind you, the superlative form with the short adjectives adding what? EST, fast, here comparative between two, faster, fastest. Ali is the fastest of of his class. So here we compare between one and more than one. This is with what? Short adjectives. Famous, more famous, the most famous. Superlative means to compare between more than two. More than two. Good, Here you irregular adjective, the best, good, better, the best, bad, you know, worst, the worst. I think you know these adjectives. We use the present perfect also with the superlative, and you know present perfect is with is using what? Have or has with past participle. Have with plural form, has with singular form. I have plus what? Past participle. I have eaten an apple. He has been to Riyadh. So these sentences represent what? Present perfect, to remind you. Now look at the explanation here. Who can read the superlative with the present perfect and read the examples? Who can read? Abdullah Basil, are you here?
Yes, Mr.
Read the explanation. The present perfect can be.
The present perfect can be used after a superlative. This is the
Good.
most
Yes, this is the most exciting
exciting
sporting
sporting event I've been to in a long time. Who is the
Good.
best football?
You have ever been seen. Good. So
Who
you
is the
realize that the
best
present,
football
yes,
player you've ever seen?
good. You realize that the present perfect can be used after a superlative form. Look at the example. This is, the superlative form, the most exciting. And here we have the present perfect. This is the most exciting sporting event I have been to in a long time. The second example, who's the best football player you have ever seen? So we can use the superlative with present perfect. Look at the examples here.
Teacher,
Yes.
Nabil Hussein is saying that he's waiting. He cannot join.
He can access without, permission.
Look at the group. He's saying that he cannot
Okay.
join. He's in the waiting.
Okay, tell him that he can access without any permissions.
Okay, teacher.
Okay. Now here, complete with your own words. The most exciting, game I have ever. What should we put here?
Played.
Played. The most exciting game I have ever played, seen, watched. I have ever played is football. Good. Played, watched, enjoyed, etc. But you have to put what? Verb 3, because here we have present perfect. Number 2. Okay. Continue. Abdullah, Kamal, Abdullah Bitar. My father is the.
My father is the best person I have ever known.
Good. Good. My father is, the best person I have ever known, the smartest, the kindest, the richest, etc. But here we have to put what? A superlative form. The next, who can read it? TV show I have ever watched is Tash. The funniest, look here, the best, the funniest, the worst, that's up to you, okay? Okay, now go to your work, the student's book on page 22, please. It is foolish. This is the rewrite each sentence with a gerund or gerund phrase as the subject. Look at the example. It is foolish to ride a motorcycle without a helmet. Riding, a motorcycle without helmet is foolish. Number one.
Can I answer?
Yes, Jamil.
Okay. It is easier to lose weight when you're physically active. It's gonna be teacher, losing weight is easier when you're physically active.
Losing, weight is easier when you are physically active. Number two, you can try. Let me choose. Then are you here? Faisal Amir, Kareem, Muhammad Walid.
Yes, teacher. أنا كريم موجود.
Yes, Kareem. Try to do the second, please.
Okay. The thing that stops many people from being physically active is not having enough time. I think not having enough time stops many people from
Very
being
good.
physically active.
Not having enough time stops many people from being physically active. Good. Number three, who can try? It gives a runner a sense of satisfaction to complete a marathon. I think it is easy.
The answer, sir.
Yes, Abdullah.
Completing a marathon gives a runner a sense of satisfaction.
Good. Completing a marathon gives a runner a sense of satisfaction. Number four. Anas, are you here? Ala, Umar Saadi.
Can I answer, teacher?
Ammar.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, please. Number four.
It is difficult but thrilling to learn how to ski. Learning how to ski is difficult but thrilling.
Good. Learning to ski is difficult but thrilling. Thank you. Number five. Number five.
Can I answer?
Fadi.
Can I answer,
Jamil.
teacher?
Jamil.
Okay. Number five. The most important part of playing a sport isn't winning. It's gonna be teacher. Winning is not the most important part.
Winning is not the most
sport.
important of playing a sport. Good. Next, number six.
Can I answer?
Can I answer?
Abdullah Al-Bitar.
It's dangerous to scuba dive. It's dangerous
Scuba.
scuba dive without proper training. Scuba diving without proper training is danger.
Very good. Scuba diving without a proper training is dangerous. Number seven.
Can I answer?
Sorry. يلا فادي. Yes, Fadi.
It's not good idea to swim after eating. Swimming after eating is not a good idea.
Good. Swimming after eating is not a good idea. I think that's enough for this exercise. Number 8, 9, 10 will be as a homework, okay? 8, 9, 10 will be as a homework. Now move to exercise B. Complete each sentence with a gerund or gerund phrase. Look at the example. Watching a training video helps me to exercise. Is a good idea. Number one, what do you think? We have different answers, I think. Can try. Is a good idea.
Can I try?
Yes, Fadi.
Studying at morning is a good idea.
Good. Sleeping earlier is a good area. Visiting friends is a good area. Going shopping is a good idea, etc. Reading is a good idea. So here just we have to put a gerund or a gerund phrase. Gives me energy. Can try. Gives me energy.
Can I try?
Yes.
Drinking coffee gives me energy.
Good. Eating some dates. Playing sports. In other words, eating some dates. Yeah. Good. Drinking, juice, drinking coffee, etc. Takes a long time.
Can I answer, teacher?
Yes, Abdullah.
Cleaning my room takes a long time.
Very good. Reading a book takes a long time. Cleaning my room takes a long time. Good. Number 4. Number 4. You can try. Is one way to make friends. Traveling, maybe, is one way to make, friends. Yes, traveling. Good. Number 5. Makes me feel good about myself. Helping, helping others makes me feel good about myself. Maybe getting high marks. 6.
عادي أجاوب أستاذ.
يلا مثنى. Yes. Is easy for some people but difficult for others.
To be kind is easy for some people but difficult for
Being
others.
good. Being kind is easy for some people but difficult for others. Good. Cooking is easy. Here, just you have to start with what? With ing form. Okay, number 7, 8, 9, 10 will be what? As a homework. Okay. Now here, exercise D, just we want to identify the sport each piece of equipment comes from. Then write a sentence about each sport using either a gerund or a phrase. First one, this is what?
بس أي صفحة لأن هسه دخلت أنا.
Page 22, 23.
كتاب النشاط ولا الطالب بس؟
لا كتاب الطالب.
تمام يعطيك العافية.
Now 23. Okay, welcome. Here waiting, weight lifting. I think this is what for swimming, for running, skateboarding, bicycling, or riding bicycle, playing football, or okay. So these things we are going to make sentences. Weightlifting. About the first one, we can make a sentence. Look at the example. Lifting 100 kilograms is, the heaviest weight I have ever lifted. Swimming. Here we have to use, write a sentence about each sport using a gerund as a subject or superlative plus present perfect. So here we use what? Superlative with the present perfect. Number 2, swim. Who can make a sentence about swimming? Swimming is the most interesting sport I have ever practiced. Running is, every day is good for your health. Bicycling, riding a bicycle is the best way to get around the town. Riding, here we use what? A gerund. Skateboarding can cause dangerous injuries. Football, playing football is exciting. So this is about, lesson today. I think here we have to stop here. Now here we have a homework.